back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I contour my nose. You guys know that I've had plastic surgery done, I've had a rhinoplasty, but that doesn't stop a girl from contouring her nose still, you know. So guys, please excuse me if I'm talking funny. I literally just had my lips done not even 2 days ago, so today is like the most swollen it's ever going to be. So trust me, it's going to go down, it's going to start looking normal again. I'm not going to be looking like a fish forever, but I did want to film this video for you guys. I didn't want to miss a week where you guys don't have 2 videos, so you know, the dedication is real. I have filmed this makeup tutorial for you guys, so if it's not up yet, it's going to be up soon on my channel, so keep your eyes out for that. Make sure you subscribe so you can see any more tutorials that I'm bashing out. Okay, so right now I haven't got anything on my nose, just a bit of foundation, whatever's left on my beauty sponge. So you can either contour with cream product or powder. I'm going to be showing you powder today because I think I've done cream contour in my last video when I used to have my old nose. So whenever you do powder contour, you need to make sure the actual nose is powdered. You can't go on top of powder if the foundation isn't set, because it will go really muddy. You won't be able to blend it out and stuff. So when you put powder on top of powder, it's going to blend a lot nicer. So I'm going to use my Smith 112 brush. It's like a little powder brush with my MAC Studio Fix powder. This is NC40, and I'm going to dust this all over the nose. I really like this powder because it gives coverage as well as setting everything. So when I want a really flawless finish, I'll put this on top of my foundation. Powder the rest of my face because I'm an oily bitch. I always find whenever I powder my nose, it looks really flat, so I need to start adding dimension back into it. So whenever you contour your nose, you want to go something a bit more ashy, but not too ashy, because it's in the middle of your face and you can literally look like stripes on your face, which you don't want. You still want a little bit of warmth as well, so it kind of blends in with the rest of your face, otherwise it will look really, really great. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys what products that I love to contour my nose with. So I have 3 here that I really like at the moment. One is Hoola. This one I'd recommend for someone with a bit more of a tan skin tone. If you are too fair, this probably won't even be an option for you because it's quite dark as a nose contour. And then I also really like this one from Kevin Aquana. It's called their Sculpting powder, and this is in the shade Light. They also do a dark one as well, but the light one's really nice if you're a bit paler and you want something really soft and natural. And then I also really like from Nars, it's called Laguna, and it's actually a bronzer. And you guys see here, it has a little bit of shimmer in it. You can't really see it on camera, but it does have a bit of a sheen to it. But I actually really like it on the nose because it makes it a little bit more natural, a bit more softer. So I'm going to use this one today. Whenever I'm really tan, that's when I go for Hoola. But I find at the moment I'm a bit more like slightly pale. Not really pale, but yeah, in the middle. So that's why I'm going to go for my Laguna. And it has honestly the perfect undertone. It doesn't look too warm, it doesn't look too grey. So sometimes I even mix the two together. But I'm going to show you my favourite brush that I like to use. So I really like this brush from Tarte. It's called, doesn't even have a freaking name. It just looks like this. I'll see if I can link it down below. If not, there's one from Dose of Colours that's very similar like this, but it's not double-sided. But the reason why I like this brush is because it has like 2 brushes in one, so that's why I like this one. But also the Dose of Colours one does the same thing, so I just pick whatever one my hand gravitates to first. But this is my favourite because it's a bit more fluffy than the Dose of Colours one. So I'm going to use this side first. It's like a flat shader brush, and it's synthetic as well, so it's a bit more targeted on the application, which I like. So I just put a little bit on the tip of my brush, and you want to start off with a little bit first. So I always take off the excess on the back of my hand, and then I always start right here, and I blend it into the eyebrow, and I go down. And you want to make this as narrow as you can. Don't leave a big gap in here. You want to kind of make it go in, because you want this line to be as kind of thin as possible. You don't want it to be a really fat line because it will make your nose look really wide. And then I go down and curve it in. I'm going to make it a bit more darker for you guys so you can really see on camera what I do. So the edge of my nose is about here, but I'm bringing it all the way in here. So it kind of takes out like maybe like a couple of millimeters off my bridge of my nose. I always blend into my eyeshadow inside my crease here, and then also blend into my eyebrows because that makes it a lot more natural. With the tip of my nose, I kind of want this bit to be like really nice and pointy, so I always go underneath here, then I kind of brush upwards so that it kind of lifts my nose. If you guys have a really long nose here, you need to do this step. It'll make it look a lot shorter. And I'm going to go on the other side. So I flip my hand and I go across like this, and I start right in this section again, and I go down. So make this bit as skinny as possible, and you want to go as straight as you can. If you go at an angle, it'll make your nose look really bent. You go straight down like this. So you guys can see like the size of my nose is actually here, but I contoured all down here because I want to make this line really nice and skinny. And then I kind of contour around here again. And recently I've been starting to do this little bit here, so it makes you look like a button nose. So I just go across so it kind of breaks up, so it's not the one long ass nose, you know. When you do a little shadow here, it kind of gives you a little tip lift. You want to do it quite softly, you don't want it to look like a harsh line, you know. And then what I do is I get a really thin brush. So you guys see this is like a lot thicker, and then this is like super skinny. This is like a Diego Dalla Palma one, but you can use any one. This is number 12. You can use honestly anything that's a bit flatter than the one you were just using. And then I go in right on the tip of this, and I almost like etch out a little circle kind of thing, because it'll be a bit more prominent when you go straight in with like a brush like this, because it's a bit like smaller, a bit firmer. And then I go on the tip, and then I almost go like this on the smallest part of my nose. But you want to make sure you do the first steps before this, otherwise it will look really harsh. And I use the back of the brush as well, and this is without anything on it. I just blend it all in together to make sure my foundation, everything, there's no harsh line, even in the center as well. So I like to bake with the Laura Mercier powder because I get really oily. This powder is the best if you have really oily skin, guys, so it's definitely worth the money as well. This is the Cake Bake Sponge by Vera Mona, and this is really good to contour your nose because it's like a straight line. Well, it's really dirty because I just use it for foundation. Okay, I'm gonna pick up some powder. So I look straight into the mirror, and you want to make sure this bit is as straight as possible. So this is why the sponge is helping you with this. And I almost like stretch out my lip like this, so it kind of makes sure my nose is as straight as possible. And I'm kind of curving it to my nose shape. And then you also want to make sure you bake all of this section here too. So if you've got any dents or anything here, you want to make sure this is all one colour here, so it kind of disguises and it's a lot more flatter. And you also want to powder the sides of your nostrils, so that's where I get really shiny nose. Okay, and then same on the other side. So I flip my hand and I use the same side of the sponge straight down into a line like this. Okay, and then normally I do this all before my eye makeup, so by the time I turn on the camera, all of this is kind of brushed away anyways. So wherever you get shiny, that's where you want to bake. I always do my smile lines as well, and then also on the top of my eyebrow here I get really shiny. I don't know why. I really like this sponge because you can actually get around all the corners. Okay, and then you just leave this to settle for about 10 minutes. You want to make sure it's kind of like all sunken in, as much powder as possible, because that's what's going to stop you from getting oily, and it's going to make your pores disappear by doing this step here. Okay, I'm back. So you guys can probably see that my powder is kind of like sunken into my skin a bit. It's not as powdery looking anymore, and sometimes I even push it into my nose a bit to make sure it's really matte and it stays less oily all day. Okay, so now that we've got our shape overall and all of it is really nice and matte now, we need to highlight, and I find that's what makes the most difference. If I don't have my nose highlight on, I feel like I have a big blobber nose. So I definitely need to highlight like my tip and then my cupid's bow and then also my bridge of my nose. So the highlight we're going to use today is my favourite. It's from Artist Couture called Illuminati. You guys see me go bang on about this all the time because it's just the most amazing blingiest highlighter in the world, guys. In the world! That's a big statement there. So I'm going to go with this brush. It's called the High Cheekbone Highlighter brush from Sigma, and it's called the F03 brush. And this is a bit more flat. It's like a big version of the nose contour brush. And I really like this because it's synthetic, so it blends in the powder really nicely, but not too much so it blends it all away, you know. I'm going to take whatever's left on this cap of the highlighter because I don't want to put too much on, and I just use the tippy tip of the brush just like that, and then I tap off the excess, and then I go onto the bridge of my nose here, and I make this bit more highlighted like in the center bit here, but I don't bring it all the way down because I still want to keep this bit still shadowy, you know. And then on the tip of the nose, that tippy tip of it, I just brush this along just where my brush kind of hits the most. I'm not pushing hard, I'm just lightly going along like this. You guys can see it's just like a light little button nose, you know. Now that it's super highlighted, I'm going to go back in with the contour brush again, and I just use whatever's left on the brush. I don't add in more, and I'm just going to go over that to make sure only certain bits are highlighted. If you highlight the wrong area, it can make your nose look more crooked, so I'm just going around etching around that shade again. And then in the tippy tip of here, I want this bit to be the most highlighted, so I'm gonna go with another highlighter, and I am trying to find my Cocoa Bling highlighter from Artist Couture, but it's gone missing because his tables are dumped right now. So I'm gonna go in this other one from MAC. It's called Double Gleam, and this is more of a whitish highlight. The other one that we use is a bit more golden, but this one is like a really light white one, and this is gonna go just here. Don't know if you can see if that made a difference, but it just made it a bit lighter just on the tip here. And then I'm going to do the same on here. So I always find it's always best to mix your highlighters. So I really like one like this. Like, I couldn't wear this on its own because it's super white, but when you put a golden highlighter on and then this in the center of it, just where you want it to be the highest, it just really makes it pop more and it looks a bit more 3D. And then just a bit here as well, right on my bridge, because this bit is the most flattest on my face, so I want this bit to come out the most. That's when I put it on. A little bit on my chin as well. And just makes your face look super glowy, you know, when you have that little bit in the centre of your face. I find this bit, if you want like glowy skin, highlighting your nose just makes it all the difference, like especially in photos as well, like your skin is so glowy. So yeah guys, that is it for contouring my nose. I'll show you the before photos and then after here, and you guys see in photos mainly is when you see the difference. Like in real life it still looks really nice and blended, it just looks a bit like bright because of the highlight, but if you guys don't want to add that step in, it's totally up to you, but I find for me that makes the most difference. Okay guys, so that's it for this tutorial. I know it was super quick. I hope when I edit this down it's going to be really quick. Gang. So if you guys want to see more quick tutorials like this, please comment them down below on what other topics you love to see, and I'll definitely create them for you guys, because the videos like this are super easy for me to recreate. And I always think, like, do people actually want to see stuff like this even though it's a bit simple? You let me know guys, comment down below. Make sure you subscribe before you leave and check out any of my other tutorials. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms as well to see more regular updates from me. It's just Thuyl on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys! Why is there so much racket outside? It's so annoying. Oh, there's motorbikes everywhere! The hell?
Someone's getting knocked up.
Look at myself in the viewfinder, it's annoying. Where did I put that freaking brush? Thuyl on Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave all the links down.
You forgot Facebook.
Oh fuck. Ah!
Retake.
I don't think I've done enough bloopers for this. I just have to make up bloopers.